Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Or good afternoon, rather. Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated today. We got a shit ton of rain last night. We are not flooded anymore, I'm happy to report. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Welcome in, Kels and Just Treese. Thank you for coming in and moderating. We're just waiting for them to get this video of Sarah Boone. I guess they recorded it and then we get to watch it. But we're also waiting for a press conference that I didn't know was happening. Chad Doerman case. You know, the guy that just took a plea. Chad Doerman, the prosecutor, is going to explain the plea deal. But here's a little bit of Sarah Boone. Let's see what they're talking about here while we wait.
Say they found video on her cell phone showing Boone
Vinny,
and laughing at Torres while he was struggling to get out of the suitcase.
I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you drink on me.
Sarah. I
Go.
can breathe, Sarah.
Yeah. You should probably shut the
When police questioned Boone the next morning, she seemed to have no memory of that happening.
I fell asleep, so I don't know if they suffocated or if I got an aneurysm or a heart attack or what.
oh my God, Sarah Boone. So we all know Sarah Boone. We all have seen is ugh an emotion. It really is. But she is today representing herself for the first time, pro se. Hello, True Crime and Other Stuff, and Megan May and Captain Ganja. September, good to see ya. Hey, Allie and Teresa Beavers. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I hope you guys are all staying dry. If you are affected by this storm. You need your Dr. Pepper. I'm really thirsty. I'm really thirsty. And then she goes and drinks right out of the spigot. So I don't know what's going to come first. Sarah Boone's pretrial hearing, representing herself. Let me tell you what she's asking the judge for. This is interesting. And if you haven't hit that like button, now's a good time to do so. She's asking for a backup lawyer, like a standby lawyer, in case she has any questions. Who thinks that's going to go over well? Good morning, Cheryl. Who thinks a backup lawyer and her are just going to have the same problems that she had with the other 8 lawyers? But she wants that. She wants some help. And I can't remember what was the other thing she's asking for? She's asking for a backup lawyer. And I can't remember what else. Mark Klein says, I just took a shower. I know what you went through, Jay. And I love you, Mama. I love you, puppies. Yeah, you know, the hurricanes are actually, it's different. Like the tropical storm versus the hurricane. The tropical storm is not as bad of winds as the hurricanes, but the rain, oh my God. We were like, we had the outer band just swirling around us, like over us as it swirled around. And it just was nonstop. And it was thunderstorms, dude. It was scary. There was a lot of heavy rain. Shit came in sideways. What's up, Carly and Minderella? 100% going to have problems, but she needs a standby for sure. I think so too. True Crime for You. Hello. So, like I said, we also have a press conference from the prosecutors in the Doerman case. So I don't know which one's going to come first, but we're here for it. Thank you for joining today. Carrie, hi, Jay and friends. I'm glad you're okay. I hope you're feeling better too. I am. Much better since you're here now, Carrie. Sarah Boone's going to get that soundbite. Is the Howard Franklin still closed? Let's see. So, northbound, yep. Northbound lanes of the Howard Franklin Bridge in Tampa remain closed for repair. Oh, look at this. Whoa, I got to show you guys. We won't miss Sarah or anything, but let me show you guys these photos. So this is the bridge that goes to Tampa. Look at that. Literally washed away. Chunks of the concrete are just gone. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Ember and Lacey. At 4:30 in the morning, they closed it. Oh, here's the traffic cam. Let's watch this. Holy. Wow. Okay, check this out. Look at this cam, you guys. Dude, why were people even driving? What is wrong with people?
La, la, la,
Hey,
la,
Charles
la.
Jefferson, thank you for subscribing today. Good to have you. There is no way you would have caught me on that bridge. No effing way. Look at this. No, What's up, Bob? Glad you have power. Good here in Orlando. Good, good. I kept power the whole time, if you can believe that. So this is Sunday night before they close the lanes. I can see why. Isn't that scary? I want to show you guys something else, too. The Sunshine Skyway, I think, is closed as well. Look at this. Oh, it's gone. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Can you guys hear Summer panting? Oh, here we go. Here's the Skyway yesterday. Yeah, no thanks. Would you guys be going over that during a storm? Oh yeah, she is in Orlando. Orange County, you guys got Sarah Boone over there. I'm glad I didn't lose power too. Can you believe my daughter-in-law and granddaughter drove over this thing yesterday morning to go home? Oh. Well, I'm glad that your power came back on September. And it comes in waves, you know, because you get those bands coming through. It's scary. But anyways, yeah, so everybody's like, nope, hell to the no. Not happening.
Cheapers.
So we're late on the Chad Doerman thing and Sarah Boone. So we're just waiting, guys, for this stuff to begin. So you guys don't like bridges? No? You had 50-mile-an-hour winds? I know. It was nuts. It was nuts. Lots of heavy rain. Ours came in sideways. I don't know why they don't close those bridges down when it gets like that, Pam. I mean, if there's like waves crashing over the bridge, I feel like they should shut it down. I agree, Pam. It's a little nuts. Hey, Febinem. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to everyone. Oh, Teresa, the Mackinac Bridge. Oh, God. That thing is so scary. That thing moves when you're on it, though. You feel that thing move. I don't like that. Teresa, remember when that little Geo Metro or whatever it was drove off the Mackinac Bridge? Someone drove off it during a storm or something? It's a bridge over troubled waters. Mark Klein.
You boy?
You DM'd me last night like a worried mama bear. Aw, cows. That's so sweet. Yeah. Hey, Siobhan. No, I'm not a big fan of bridges, but I go over that Sunshine Skyway all the time because it's the only way to get to my granddaughter and my son. I have to. I could go around, but it takes so much longer. Why are there kids talking in the background? In the background of what? What are you talking about? Ain't no kids here. Must be at your house. I drove over the Mackinac Bridge by myself for the first time. Yikes. I've never done it by myself. I've never... September, there was a truck that sadly went over a bridge in the storm last night. Oh, that's so sad. Lacey, I don't mind bridges in my country in the UK, but yours are much bigger. Thanks, Pam. So you think they were on some other substances that night, Jay? Yes. I have a feeling they were. Arthur Morgan says we need flying cars. I think that's a thing, Arthur. I actually think that they are testing flying cars like the Jetsons. Arthur wants to fly around like George Jetson and shit. Danny says the car was blown off the Mackinac Bridge during a winter storm. Is that what it was? I vaguely remember. It was terrifying. Yeah, we're talking the bridge to the UP. Yep, the Mackinac Bridge. No, there's no little kids here, Dragonfly. You might have something else playing in the background, maybe. Do we think she's going to ask for more time? That's a good question. She's probably going to need it. I don't know how she's going to be ready for trial in October. Like psychedelic or what? Maybe. Or meth. Maybe, oh yeah, maybe like ecstasy or something. I don't know. I really don't know why they were playing like children. That's what trips me out about Sarah and George. Look at her. Look at her face. She's so like, does not think she should be arrested. Ohio bridges are scary, Arthur. One of our highest in the UK is at the Dartford crossing over the Thames. They shut it in high winds regularly. Thanks for that little tidbit, Marion. But why do you guys think that they were playing, children's games like painting, things like that? Dragonfly says, I'm losing my mind. Old age, I hear children. I'm going to be 63 Friday. Well, happy early birthday, Dragonfly. Bath salts. You think she was told more time? Her laptop issue is going to help her. She won't be able to keep her laptop all day with one full charge. No, it wasn't canceled. Court TV said they recorded it and they're getting the video. So we're waiting for the video to get here. That won't be some kind of her defense, right? I don't know. What is her defense going to be? LSD and alcohol, maybe? But what makes these people play children's games? They were painting. Oh, I know. Bottle of wine, my ass, says Carly. Oh, well, they've both been arrested before. Hold on. I've just found this on someone's channel last night. There's body cam out there. I forgot. Sarah Boone, body cam from a different arrest with George. Hold on. We can always rewind Court TV if we miss the beginning of it, but I don't think we will. This is someone with commentary, though. So this is from 2019, guys. And this is from SKR is the video. June 18th, 2019, when Sarah Boone called the police on her boyfriend during a heated argument. Clearly intoxicated, Sarah tries to manipulate the cops into scaring her boyfriend without arresting him. However, due to a pretrial no contact order from June 15th, her boyfriend is arrested despite her protests. Sarah called the police on him 4 times in 3 days, leading to his arrest. Now Sarah Boone faces a trial for second-degree murder. Okay, so this guy does commentary with it. Let's take a listen.
It's the same place.
Oh my God.
So I'm guessing you called for a reason, right?
You told me to.
24 hours to
Yep.
get a check.
Okay. Don't arrest him. Please don't.
Yeah, but you do realize he's here, though, right?
322,
Just trying to talk it out.
Yeah, have you been drinking?
I had a drink.
Okay.
A drink?
Okay, I made it 18 seconds. On
A drink? Oh my God, look at her come out of the house. Y'all, watch this.
It's the same place.
So I'm guessing you called for a reason, right?
Oh my God, she said, this is the place.
You told me to.
24 hours to
Yep.
get a check.
Okay. Don't arrest him. Please don't.
Yeah, but you do realize he's here, though, right?
322,
Just trying to talk it out.
Yeah, have you been drinking?
I had a drink.
Okay.
okay, I made it 18 seconds. Honestly, better than I thought. Drink.
It's raining.
It is raining.
Public to 16825 East Colonial Cornersville Road. You take the manager, or the store manager just broke.
No, don't close the door, because I gotta keep an eye on my guy.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is open.
Party just
Okay, well,
disappeared in different directions from one area and checked one of the Hispanic males.
So she's saying to them, don't arrest him. She has a protection order. She's called the police 4 times in 3 days. And he's there, and they have to arrest him. And thank you, guys. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
Had tattoos all over him. No shirt, gray pants.
Yeah, I have to.
sneakers.
He's here.
Other one, tattoos.
Yeah, you can stay right here. You can stay right here. He doesn't know that you call. He doesn't know how to
Another
know
black
it.
male, another
I have to.
three white females.
Her face.
Why do you have to? So we left earlier. We respected your wish earlier. Yeah, we respected your wish earlier. Okay.
I made it 30 seconds this time. But just wow. No, don't do that. Why? I feel I get such me over you. So, when I say I want my credit card back, you better give me my credit card back. And he even says, we respected your wishes earlier. Then you want to talk it out. Then you want to tell them, oh no, it's okay. He's fine. Don't arrest him. Why would you have to do that?
He's here. Okay.
24 hours.
It's because it's the mistake. That's the only reason why. Yeah, I have to, man. You can stay right here. He doesn't have to know. He doesn't have to know. He doesn't have to know.
Transfer from Oak occurred last night.
I'll hear your piece. You can step out here. Stop ringing. It's just sprinkling. It's okay.
Like, an 8 gray Chevy Malibu.
Go around the corner if you want.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hey, but I'm literally begging you, don't.
But you know he's gonna have to.
No.
Just stay here.
Please, Jesus.
Don't come out here acting out. Okay.
There's nothing I can do.
There's nothing you can do.
Why?
Just the law, it's the way the law is, all right? So.
I kind of want to give you a hug.
Oh
no,
my
you don't need to
God.
give me a hug.
Oh my God. She told the cops, I want to give you a hug.
Big and berry.
No, that's okay. No hugs today.
No.
She just went from, is there any
He says no hugs today. Oh my God. Yes, same boyfriend.
Just-
Same boyfriend.
violent? You arrested?
I'm trying to get her to go back inside because we're trying to do something over here. I know, but I'm trying to keep you away from there. You're not listening. You keep coming outside. Just go inside.
I have you come talk to you.
Yeah, he'll come talk to you. And come
No,
over
don't. Have Rachel come talk to me.
there. There you go.
No problem. I
Have Rachel. There you go.
George, I'll do whatever I can.
Okay.
Lord, take it easy, Lord. You hear me?
All right.
George!
Rachel, come
What's
talk
your name again? I just said to stop. That's all I want you to... There you go. Go call Papa Mom.
Babe, I had no idea.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my God.
Go inside. Call Mom and Pop.
What?
You're not going to do anything for him. There you go.
Even the cop says, Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
Babe, I had no idea.
Jesus Christ. Go inside. Call Mom and Pop.
What?
You're not going to do anything for him. There you go.
They
Call Mom
won't
and Pop.
answer.
You can't do
I'll
anything
make
for
Henry
him.
go over there and do it. Babe!
Stop screaming at him. See, she don't listen.
I know.
No. Go back inside. Go back inside.
Oh my God.
Go back inside.
Can you imagine being her neighbor? Can you imagine being her neighbor? Remember in the other one, in the other body cam, she talks about her neighbors wouldn't let her go to the bathroom. I wonder why.
Jesus.
He says,
Do you
Go
need
back
Jesus right now?
oh my God. What? He said Jesus and her head flicked around. Whoa.
Inside. Jesus.
Do you need Jesus right now?
I don't.
Jesus Christ is right. He may not need you.
Oh my God. Wow.
Call Mom and Pop. There's nothing you can do for him out here. You're not going to hug him. You're not going to go talk to him. Just go inside and call Mom and Pop.
How's Henry over there talking to him?
Oh my God.
Henry's the property manager. He's asking him questions. The deputy's asking him questions.
Why is Henry owns or is the property manager? Wow.
Why is this
What
all...
do you want me to do?
Man, go inside. Call Mom and Pops. Let's go. You're not doing anything for him screaming here.
Look at her
Why
face.
is this so hard for you?
What happened?
I need his father and his mother's
Take her inside. Take her inside. Maybe he'll show it to
his
you.
father's number and his mother's number.
Yes, I got
Yeah.
I
it.
could
I
give
got
him a
both.
piece of
I got
Alright.
both. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all gotta go. Okay,
Alright.
it's done when it's done.
Why are you screaming for?
Sarah, I need the number. She don't have it.
Goodness gracious.
I have it.
I need you to write it.
I know. She's on something.
Uh-huh. She's on something for sure. You guys think meth? Yeah, it's meffed up. Something that makes her turn like that.
Last week,
I'll give
he has a no contact order.
He has no.
Period.
Okay.
I know how it feels to be locked up without a number.
Yeah.
Can you write his mother and his father's number?
Come inside.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Do you need anything with me?
I need you to go inside like the last 5
Here's
minutes.
the phone number.
Goodness gracious.
She just curtsied, I think. Oh my God.
Without a number.
Yeah.
Can you write mother and father's number?
Come inside.
Come on, let's go.
Do you need anything with me?
I need you to go inside like the last 5 minutes.
She
Goodness
curtsied.
gracious. All right, go.
George!
Yeah, you have to hurry up. It's about the floor. All right, bud.
You need her for anything?
No, we don't.
Yeah, they are completely done.
They
said we
are
don't need
over
her
it.
For anything, we need her to go as
They need to get the hell out of there. Who is this guy?
and play little grinning at him. This just don't sit right.
Oh, that's George. Look how skinny. Oh, no wonder he fit. Hold on, that's George.
This just don't sit right.
Look how freaking skinny he was. No wonder he fit in that damn suitcase. Look how small he is. I thought that was a damn little kid. They are definitely on drugs.
Right with me.
We don't. We have her information already. So here's what's gonna happen, bud. You're gonna take the ride back down, and because it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're gonna see a judge tomorrow morning. So we'll be able to see her today. And it might be the same
They are this wasted by 2 p.m.
judge that gave the no contact order. Okay? Listen, from here on out, bud, until that case is resolved, you cannot come here, okay? Or have contact with her, even if she invites you, okay? She called us earlier. She told us that you guys had a no contact order, okay? She didn't want anything to do with you. Like, no charges, nothing. But we told her because it's domestic, the state of Florida has to. Okay? So, all right, bud? Just make sure he's got...
And he's all quiet. Like, he's not saying a word. He's not arguing. He's not acting like her.
Nothing on him. Nothing on him.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you don't have anything on you, right, bud?
She's outside again.
Okay. We'll make it as cordial as it can be, okay? We promise, man, all right? What you say?
Sure. I'll do it right here.
I love you, babe.
Oh, my God, these two. I love you, babe. These two. Holy shit, 2 p.m.
I'll take it easy. Did you hear me? I love you. Call Pop and Mom. Tell them that I'm...
Hey,
Sarah, call Pop and Mom.
God, that sounds the same Sarah, as from the damn suitcase.
I'll make him go over there and do it. Babe. I want to go.
No.
Oh, my God.
It's all right, babe. George, give me your mom's and your father's
Just
number.
stay here,
I
stay
don't
here.
know it.
You don't know it?
She knows. Sarah knows. What's the charges against?
So, the domestic battery charge that he got hit with last week or whatever it was, he was given a no contact order by the judge, okay? Whether she invites him or not,
I know.
he knows he can't be here. So, he was here this morning, and she called us
So it falls on him, whether she let him be there or not. Did you hear him?
this morning, okay? He's now back, and he knows by he can't be in the contact.
Can I get some money so you can make a phone call?
No, he gets a phone call when he gets down there. Yeah, he gets one when he gets in.
You don't got nobody's number.
Well, if you have a piece of paper real quick, you can get it for me and we'll give it to him.
You don't know your mother's number? She has.
If you can get it real quick, we'll give it to him.
Can I get his mother's number?
Oh, my God. So she didn't want to deal with his mom when the suitcase thing happened. She was scared that they were going to kill her. I wonder if she ended up calling and saying she had him arrested.
So yeah, that was the body cam footage.
So that's it. That's all there is. But man, is that not crazy? Let's watch her come out again. Oh my God.
For a reason, right?
Dude, she is messed up. This is the place. She's all happy, and then she instantly, her face changes. Watch.
It's the same place.
So I'm guessing you called for a reason, right?
You told me to.
24 hours to
Yep.
get a check.
Okay. Don't listen. Please don't.
Yeah, but you do realize he's here, though, right?
322,
Just try to
65.
figure it out.
Okay, have you been drinking?
I had a drink.
Okay.
Okay, I made it 18.
Look at her coming out of that house, all smiles. The hell, man. Ace Hardware shirt and the Ace Hardware bucket. All right, let's see what's going on court TV here.
There's nothing more than to be done with this case, and the judge is
Nothing yet. Nothing yet, guys.
a lot more efficient. It's going to go fast, right? The worst thing for a system is a pro se defendant. A pro se defendant prolongs the process, makes the process clumsy, and judges are not equipped to. When you look at these trials on TV, right? They look like orchestrated symphonies and ballets, and they're so well choreographed by both sides, and the questions and answers and everything is so crisp. And when you don't like it as a judge, you say, "Come get a sidebar." No judge wants to take a sidebar with this lunatic, right? So for that reason alone, the judge is going to say, yes, you can have another shot, but you got to prove to me. But then the other reason is the case is probably not going to come back on appeal, right? Even with lawyers, sometimes it comes back on appeal. That's how frayed this is. There's a higher chance of it coming back on appeal if you defend yourself, because now you have just yet another piece of red meat to throw everybody. But you've also robbed yourself of the defense of being stupid. I can't tell you how many times.
That'll be her.
As an attorney, I got a client.
That'll be her playing dumb.
With the FBI, we say, hey, he's just an idiot. He's a complete moron, and no charges were brought against him. There's just a lot of stupid people, and this lady is a stupid person, and she robs herself of that entire thread.
He's
of
trying
thinking
not to laugh
because she clearly is an idiot. I don't believe she intended to murder, Jorge Torres with that video. I think she was just a complete moron and a criminal, but not a murderer. So. I think the judge will say yes if she says, give me one more shot. I don't think the judge can say no.
Yeah, and to your point, I don't think she's going to ask. So we'll see. We'll get a break in here coming up. We're going to look ahead to next.
They still have not gotten the video yet. Are we going to be here all day waiting? And then there was supposed to be that press conference at 1 o'clock about Doerman. Did that happen? Let's see. Law and Crime has it. Oh, Law and Crime has it on. Do you guys want to watch that? I say we watch that. In the meantime, here we go. We'll keep checking for the Boone video, though, for sure.
Alexis sees Chase. He runs to the trash cans in the driveway and attempts to hide from the defendant. 3-year-old boy.
All right, let's go back because they're showing video and shit. I'll put it on fast speed so we can catch up. They're still getting ready here.
My name is Mark DeCole.
Here we go.
I'm the Claremont County, Ohio prosecuting attorney. We are here, as you know, to discuss the Doerman murder case. We have a PowerPoint presentation ready for you. I'm going to do some of it. First Assistant Laura Barron-Allen is going to do some. Before we get started, I would like to introduce Claremont County Sheriff Steve Leahy and Chief Deputy Chris Stratton, who in January of next year will be the next elected prosecutor of Claremont County. There have been some questions in terms of where Doerman is currently housed, and I'm going to hand that off to Sheriff Leahy.
As about an hour ago, he is still housed in our facility. The judge is working, his office is working on a warrant to convey. As soon as that is done, we will ship him immediately to CRC.
Thank you. Laura, would you like to step over and assist me with this?
They have a PowerPoint they're going to go through.
Let's begin the slideshow.
Hey, Hey, Lovey. Hey, everybody just joining. This is the Chad Doerman press conference. We are waiting for Sarah Boone. Waiting.
As you are all aware, in June of 2023, the Doerman family consisted of Laura Doerman, Chad Doerman, husband and wife, Alexis, who was 14 years old at the time. She is Laura's daughter, and then the three boys, Clayton, Hunter, and Chase. Some of the background, why we think it was important to give you this information, is to try to put some context in terms of what was going on here before the murders. Alexis has always been an outstanding student, very dedicated to her studies. You may have heard her mention in court on Friday. She loves softball, and she's a fantastic softball player from what I've been told. Was even on the All-Star team last year. Clayton, Hunter, and Chase are all happy, active little boys. They love baseball, monster trucks, fishing, go-karting, and on their property and hanging out with their family members. Chad Doerman worked full-time as a member of the Insulators Union while Laura stayed at home with the boys and homeschooled Clayton. The plan was, and they made this decision as a family, that Laura would homeschool the children. Prior to June of 2023, and I know this has been of some interest and some inquiry, what was going on with this family? Was, were there drugs involved? Were there prior incidents of violence? There were no reports, no prior reports, or any calls made to law enforcement for any event, any disturbance at the Doerman residence on Laurel Lindale Road. From the outside view, from the inside view, this was just a normal family that seemed very happy. We're going to talk about the days leading up to the murders. 5 days before, on June 10th, 2023, just a normal day. Chad Doerman takes the three boys on an outing to a local dirt track to watch some races, and they had a boys' day together. Happy, content, with no indication of any trouble to come. He discussed with Laura that she and Alexis had a little shopping day together, a little girls' day, little boys' day, and that was done. And that evening, the defendant did not report any issues or problems with sleeping. Go ahead. On Sunday, June 11th, the defendant takes the boys fishing, just the defendant and the three boys. No reports of any abnormal behavior on his part. Later, after the murders occurred, Doerman provided conflicting statements about whether he slept well or if at all on Sunday night. Monday, 3 days before the killings, the defendant goes to work as usual Monday morning. His co-workers do not notice anything unusual or abnormal about his behavior or his words. He later, again, gave conflicting statements about whether he slept or whether he didn't sleep too good that evening, Monday, June 12, 2023. Tuesday, June 13th, he goes to work again as usual Tuesday morning. After work, normal conduct, normal behavior. He had some problem with his vehicle's headlights, and he works on those headlights. Later, again, after the killings, the defendant gave conflicting statements about whether he slept Tuesday night, but eventually indicates and admitted that he didn't sleep too good that night either, maybe just a few hours. And you'll see why this is significant as we go through this. The day before the murders, Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. The defendant wakes his stepdaughter up before he leaves for work, which is a highly unusual thing to do. He typically left for work at 4 or 5 in the morning.
I'm sorry, I just need to cut in for a second and say I'm glad they're giving us this timeline of how everything went down, because there wasn't a trial. These are usually things we don't get to hear and see. Like with the Watts case, we didn't get a rundown.
He wakes her up and tells her and apologizes for whatever I have done to you and for anything I've ever done to hurt you. Again, unusual, but will become meaningful in context as we know how the events unfolded later. Go ahead, please. Again, he's at work, and these co-workers, bosses, were all interviewed extensively by law enforcement, by the members of the Claremont County Sheriff's Office, and they report nothing was observed unusual about Doerman on that day. Just normal work day, normal behavior. The night before Chad Doerman murdered his children, June 14th, 2023, it was normal. He went as he did and coached his boys, or actually Coach Clayton. He coached third base that evening. the entire family went to the ball game. There were no indicators that anything this horrible was about to occur. Later, some folks did notice that perhaps while coaching third base, he seemed a little distracted, but nothing concrete, nothing you could latch onto to gauge in any fashion what was about to occur. Again, later to law enforcement, he gave multiple reports that he couldn't sleep at all the night before he killed his kids. The day of the murders, June 15th, 2023. The defendant gets up, goes to work, arrives at about 7 a.m. On his way to work, and we know this because we have his phone, and we got all his phone records and all his search history. On his way to work, he searches on YouTube for a song titled "Happy in Hell." I'd never heard of that song before this, but I've unfortunately become acquainted with it and the lyrics. Go ahead. I'm not going to read them, but here they are.
So the lyrics say, between happy and hell, that's where I'm living now. I really want to love her, but I just don't think that I know how. Can't give her everything she needs. Can I give her everything I want? Will it be about what I do? Will it be about what I don't? Will it be about what is right? Forget about what is wrong. Will she love the man I am or the man that sings this damn song? Don't know if I'll ever know the truth. It might not ever show. But if I never tell the truth, then will she ever know? Am I her shining light or just her darkest day? I wonder if she'll leave. Hell, I wonder if she'll stay. It sounds like a fucking Dr. Seuss book. Oh God, I'm so confused. Is it a lie or truth? I'm in the crossroads. Tell me which one to choose. Is there a right or wrong? It's getting hard to tell. Hard to know the price, and sure I'd buy or sell. God, I really love her, but should I ever tell? Guess I'll just live here between happy and hell. Weird. Hey, Robin Milete, 6 whole months. Thank you, girl.
Who wrote that song?
I don't know who wrote it.
Colt Ford.
I know Colt Ford sang it.
Right.
Who did?
Colt, but go to the prior screen, please.
Sorry.
Colt Ford.
Colt Ford. I don't know who wrote it. I know it was recorded and performed by Colt Ford, who I don't know who that is either. Thank you.
Right, Kai? It's like the Battery song.
Thursday morning. Again, the day of the murder. The defense boss does notice something abnormal about his behavior, but nothing to the point where he was alarmed to make a report or to call anyone. The defendant leaves work at around 9:30 a.m.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Off of Beachmont and 5 Mile. And again, we know all this because we have his phone records. We know his locations. We know he's speaking with folks on the phone. He's sending messages. 9:42 a.m. And again, some of this is known from the Kroger parking lot video and the interior video of Kroger. 9:42, he arrives at the Kroger parking lot. 9:44, he enters Kroger. He's in the aisle by the vitamins and supplements. He walks over to the little clinic. And the reason he went to the little clinic is because his mother suggested he go there. He expressed to her, not to Laura, that he was having some confusing feelings. We're going to tell you and emphasize the little clinic, as good as it is, cannot, as we understand it, it is not the right place to go for serious problems that you may feel you're having psychologically. Anyway, he walks to the little clinic at less than 2 minutes pass, and he leaves without speaking to anyone at the little clinic. So why he went there and why he immediately left after a minute and a half, we can't answer that. We don't know. And this is him.
Wow, so he went for help?
I can't tell.
He arrives at Edward Park.
This is 5 or 10
Y'all,
minutes.
he went to a clinic for help.
We can just zip through it.
Can you use the mouse fast forward?
But again, this will all be in the information we provide and release. That's him, entering from the top. The same clothes he was wearing when he killed his sons a few hours later. We need to take out these images of both folks. That's him. Green shirt, blue jeans. It is noteworthy while we're going through this that despite the fact that his mother suggested he go to the little clinic, she never alerted Laura, never called 911 on his behalf, never called a crisis hotline, did nothing.
Did he only say confusing feelings? Did he
Let me run through this. I might take some questions afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin Malete. I hope you're safe from the storm.
Do you know what he's looking at there?
Do not.
I know sometimes people have problems with it, Siobhan. Maybe someone can give you some tips. I don't remember what it is. Thank you for joining, guys. We are waiting for Sarah Boone and watching Chad Doerman's timeline press conference, basically. He goes from doing this to executing his 3 boys. Crazy. Yeah, because this clinic doesn't handle mental conditions. This isn't the type of clinic that would help that. Good morning, Gypsy. This is just the little clinic at the drugstore. And then I guess he talked to his mom about supplements or something. Maybe he was told her he was feeling depressed, or
Do we know what he purchased that day?
Nothing, to our knowledge.
he didn't purchase anything, they said.
There's no one there.
I think you put your name in it, Siobhan. Like you type your YouTube name. I don't think you have to log in or anything.
Leave the counter.
But we also have
So you guys
PayPal
have-
as well.
On the way home, he stops, buys a 16-ounce Bud Light, goes out to the shed behind the house. The family then arrives from running some errands, and the boys, happy to see their father, run to say hello to him.
Oh my God. They run to say hello to him.
Just a normal afternoon or a normal morning, other than he came home a little bit early that day. He plays with the boys while Laura makes lunch. While eating lunch, oddly, the defendant says to Laura that this will be my last good meal. Having no information, no idea what Chad was contemplating, Laura begins to worry that this is a statement that he may be contemplating suicide.
Yeah, good point. Butterflies and alibis.
Shortly before he kills his kids, Doerman calls his father and makes the statement that Clayton is going to be the hardest one. And down below, these are it's an excerpt from Doerman's phone records that show the telephone call that was made. Between around 1 p.m. and 3:30, the defendant spends the afternoon doing yard work, playing with the kids. Again, nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing to alert Laura that she needed to do something to protect the family. There's no information available to her. 3:30 to 3:45, he begins to read the Bible to Hunter. He's walking around the house with the Bible, mumbling, "Chad knows what's right, Chad knows what's right." Shortly before 4 p.m., he gets into the gun safe, leaving it unlocked. Laura says, "You were scaring me." Again, highly unusual behavior. And Chad says, "I'm just playing around." Our position is he did this to, again, allay any fears or concerns that may build up in her about her safety, his safety, or the safety of the boys or Alexis. So he actively deceived her. 4 p.m. He's telling Clayton, Hunter, and Chase that he loves them and they did nothing wrong, and that they are the best boys ever, knowing he's about to kill them.
Can you go back to that last one real quick?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Did you get it, David? Around 4 p.m. on that day of the killing, the defendant and Laura and all three boys go into the master bedroom, playing, have lunch, a little tired, lie down, concerned that vaguely in the back of her mind that he's going to do something to hurt himself. And suddenly, after lying down, the defendant jumps up, grabs the .22 rifle from the safe, and terror fills the room. As Laura is screaming, the boys are screaming, Laura is frightened that he's about to kill himself. They're all trying to encourage him, telling him that they love him and beg him not to kill himself. Laura takes the phone out to call 911 to get some help there for Chad, who she believes is about to kill himself. He grabs her phone, throws it across the room, and tells her it's too late. He's not going to kill himself. It is too late to save those boys. And then what I can only imagine, well, I can't imagine. Takes the rifle, points it at Hunter, and shoots him multiple times. Laura sees this, Alexis sees this, Clayton sees this, Chase sees this. Laura screams to the other children to run while she tries to render aid and eventually does call 911 after Hunter has been shot. Hunter was shot in the right arm, right torso, stomach area, and twice in the right side of his head. The twice in the right side of his head, we believe, were the final two shots to ensure that Hunter was dead. All right, you're going to hear a couple 911 calls. And I ask you, in your discretion and your sensibility for the privacy and dignity of the family, to limit, as you see fit, what is disseminated to the public. Go ahead.
I can't tell what's happening, ma'am. I need you to calm down and tell me what's happening.
Help me, God, help me.
Ma'am.
He's hurt. He's hurt, God. He's hurt. My baby.
What is happening?
Hey, come on, God. Run.
Ma'am, what is happening?
Pause for a second. You hear the male voice. That is Chad telling Laura to get off. She is fighting to save her children.
I can't tell what's happening, ma'am. I need you to calm down and tell me what's happening.
Help me, God, help me.
Ma'am.
He's hurt. He's hurt, God. He's hurt.
hear me? Hello?
That's enough.
Can you hear me?
That's enough. Would you go to the next slide? Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyway, Hunter was removed from the house by Laura. She tried to save his life. When you hear Laura tell him to run, Clayton runs out the back door. The defendant gives chase to Clayton. Alexis runs after the defendant in an effort to save Clayton. The unspeakable bravery of that, I cannot comprehend. But that's what this little girl did. While she's running to try to save Clayton, she observes the defendant raise his rifle, fire several shots, striking Clayton from some 50 or 70 yards distance. Clayton's down, and the defendant walks up to him calmly and executes him with 2 bullets to the head. Go ahead. So after Alexis sees this, she knows that Chase is still running around crying. She hears him. She runs back into the house to grab Chase. She grabs him, flees the residence, and begins to run across the yard out towards the street with the intent to go to the firehouse, which is, in close proximity, to protect him. This is a Ring doorbell from a neighboring residence. So go ahead and play that, please. Please, I'm sorry, so please don't shoot me, is Alexis, as Doerman is pointing the rifle to her head as she is holding Chase and is compelled to put him down. Alexis sees Chase. He runs to the trash cans in the driveway and attempts to hide from the defendant, a 3-year-old boy hiding from his father. Alexis runs to get help. At some point, the defendant points the gun at Chase's head and fires it, but the magazine is empty, so it's just a click, as I said the other day in court. And at some point, he reloads. Laura, protecting Chase, is physically fighting with the defendant. As I said, and as you're aware, the defendant bit Laura. In a desperate attempt to save Chase, she places her thumb over the barrel of the rifle and took that projectile in an effort to save Chase. But unfortunately, the defendant was not to be deterred. He prevailed in the struggle, had control of the weapon, and executed Chase in front of Laura. Laura's, at some point, we know, returns to where Hunter is in the side yard where she brought him out of the house. And these photographs, it's the side yard where Doerman was sitting with the side steps, the side entrance to the house. Those steps where Doerman was sitting when the deputy sheriffs arrived. She's, again, trying to resuscitate, give aid to Hunter. And the defendant walks out to the field where he murdered Clayton, picks up his dead body of a 7-year-old son, and brings it back and lies it down next to Hunter. Then he brings Chase over and lies him down next to Hunter's body and Clayton's body, all while Laura is right there trying to render aid. You're familiar with these aerials, that this is essentially the area where he laid the bodies. If you see the sidewalk on the, right here, that's the sidewalk leading up to the side entrance and the steps where the defendant was sitting when police arrived, and that's the area where he laid the bodies of Clayton and Chase. All right. 5 minutes after the first 911 call made by Laura, and we don't know why, it was disconnected. she makes a second call to 911. And again, I would ask you to exercise the same common decency and discretion when playing these. Thank you. Go ahead.
Doerman County Dispatch, Chicago.
Hey guys, thanks for calling. Where's that at?
1965 Laurel Lindale.
So it's at the Laurel Firehouse.
It's just north of the Laurel Firehouse.
Just north of the Laurel Firehouse.
North, right at the intersection of
Give me that address. Give me that address one more time.
1965 Laurel Lindale.
1965 Laurel Lindale. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. 911, where's your emergency? Can you hear me? My children are shot! My children are not breathing! Okay, what happened? How many people are died? I think 3! My 3 children! 3 children are died? Yes! Okay, what's your name? My name is Laura, I need help! Lauren, I have help on the way, Lauren. Did you say Lauren? Laura, I called and nobody came! They're driving there, they're on their way. They're on their way. Who is the shooter? What's his name? Father, the father killed them! What's his name? Doerman! Take a deep breath for me. I can't do it! What's his name? They killed my children! Are you with your children now? I'm waiting till they're all over the yard! I need help! Somebody save them! They can't save my grandson! Sam! I'm trying. Let me help you. Take a deep breath so that I can help you. Okay. Do you want to do CPR? Do you want to do CPR? Do you want to do CPR? I can help you.
That's enough for now. You will get the whole call. Thank you. 4:26 p.m. Deputy Sparks, Popham with Claremont County Sheriff's Office arrive. So you know, this is some distance away. And they were responding with lights and sirens at a very rapid speed, caring more about being dispatched to this horrible scene than their own safety. They get there, and they, well, here you go. Just watch this.
Where's he at? Here. Hey, the shooter's down the boats. Get him right here. You got one for me.
You
show me your hands now! Stand up and walk towards us! Stand up now! Walk towards us! Stand up with your hands up! Stand up now!
His name is Doerman.
I know, but we can't go any first aid if we got your fine. You gotta be the shooter. You gotta find cover first. We ain't no good if we ain't safer. So. Hey. We need to come from this side where we can see him. Come take cover behind him. We see him. We're going to approach from this side. We got cover. Right here.
6 number 29 and 53 inside back.
I got my friend. Show us your fucking hands now! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up now! Stand up! Stand up! Stand there. There's people that can just stay, and that's the shooter. It's not your client. They have to show you the shooter. The business manager, 63, we're going 1. Get the EMS over here. Sober. I'm not trying to put you. 63. Get your butt inside. Yeah, get your butt inside. We on primary? 29, we got 3 mainland. 63, we're 21. Have EMS respond over here.
You're clear, they're being advised.
Father 34, start mass to respond.
63, do you want to respond to the Laurel Lindale address? Where exactly do you need them?
We're right in the front yard. What are you doing, man?
Hey, we're talking all this.
Yeah, remember, I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt nobody. You got anything on you? No, I ain't got nothing, man. Fine, that's it. I ain't mad, I ain't nothing. Let's make sure that don't go down. I don't think it'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him, pet him. All right, he'll bite you. What's going on, man? Can I stand up? Stand up. I'm gonna get you here. I know the way. You can do whatever you want. Here. You the only one else inside the house? What? You're the only one else inside the house?
Sit down right here. My daughter, she ran her to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in that cage.
A couple things. These deputy sheriffs, they face dangerous situations every day. And they went fearlessly into the face of this scene where they know people were being shot. And they are to be commended, as is all law enforcement, for the acts of bravery they display every day. And we thank you. This screen here, as you recall, I earlier said that after the killings, the defendant went over into the field and picked up Clayton. This is Clayton's blood. He slung him over his shoulder and carried him back and laid him down in the side yard. And this is all confirmed with DNA evidence, so there's no question that it's Clayton's blood. First responders and deputies on emergency scenes do what they typically do. They render aid. Deputy Sparks carries Chase just a short distance before he realizes Chase has died and gently lays him down on the ground. They cover the boys up with sheets. I've been to a lot of crime scenes. I don't expect to see sheets this long. So Hunter is carried to the life squad. That's why he ended up there. Chase is carried through the yard, most of the yard, by the deputy, and Clayton remained where the defendant placed him after killing him. All right, go ahead and play it. Tell them I did it, take me to jail. The defendant's driven in custody to the sheriff's office for an interview. It was a very lengthy interview process where the defendant initially acted like he had no idea that his children had been shot, playing a game. But we have some clips from that we would like you to see. Notably here, when asked the names and ages of his children, he gives Hunter's name first, Clayton's name second, although Clayton's the oldest, and Chase's name third. And as you already know, that's the order in which he killed them. Can we get more volume? Oh, I thought you had a remote or something. Well, let's move on. We know what it says. Hopefully the audio quality will be better when you get it. During the interview, the defendant did acknowledge that he had been having difficulty sleeping or working leading up to the murders because he knew what he was going to do. As you can see, among these statements the defendant made to the detectives, Detective Mike Ross and Mike Green, that because Laura tried to stop him from murdering these boys, that he should have killed her first.
You remember your wife trying to stop you from shooting her?
Okay, let's move on. As you know, the criminal justice process, he was charged initially through the Claremont County Municipal Court, held on I believe, a $20 million bond, and subsequently indicted by the Claremont County Grand Jury on the 21 counts, 9 counts of aggravated murder, 3 for each boy. Now, at this point, I'm going to ask Laura Barron Allen to handle this part of it. So we're going to talk about the not guilty by reason of insanity defense and the serious mental illness defense, and she can walk you through that. Thank you.
So in March of this year, the defendant filed a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. In Ohio, in order to prevail on that kind of plea, it would be the defendant's burden to show or to prove that at the time of the offenses he had a severe mental disease or defect, and that he did not know as a result of a severe mental disease or defect the wrongfulness of his actions. The defense, subsequently to their expert rendering that opinion, also filed a motion under revised code section 2929.025, the serious mental illness statute, which is relatively new in the state of Ohio, just beginning in 2021. And under the serious mental illness statute, again, the defendant would have the burden of showing by preponderance of the evidence that he has been diagnosed with one of 4 mental diseases: schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, or delusional disorder. If an expert opines that he has in fact been diagnosed with one of those mental diseases, then he would also have to show that at the time he committed the offenses, that the condition with which he's been diagnosed significantly impaired his ability or capacity to exercise rational judgment in relation to, first, conforming his conduct with the requirements of law, or second, appreciating the nature, consequences, or wrongfulness of his conduct. One of the things that all of the experts considered here is that prior to June 15th of 2023, the defendant was never diagnosed, treated, or prescribed any medication for any mental health condition. The expert hired by defense counsel in this case was Dr. Robert Stenson. The court's expert as to the question of not guilty by reason of insanity, again commonly referred to as NGRI, was Dr. Emily Davis. Despite the defense's contention, the experts did not agree on whether or not the criteria of NGRI, that the defendant met the criteria for NGRI. Both doctors, both Dr. Davis and Dr. Stenson, indicated that it was likely at the time of the offenses the defendant did suffer from a mood disorder. Could have been depression, could have been anxiety, could have been anything or nothing. They really weren't sure. But where the two experts differed was that Dr. Davis opined that the defendant did not meet the criteria for NGRI because he did know the wrongfulness of his actions. Dr. Davis specifically opined that with all of the information considered and reviewed, it was her opinion that despite the defendant experienced some symptoms of severe mental disease, that it was her opinion that he continued to know the wrongfulness of his behaviors in the offenses charged. Although some collateral records suggest a delusional thought process that served as motivation, such as when the defendant claimed he believed he was in hell at the time, there are also behaviors demonstrated by the defendant and commentary that he makes around the time of the offenses, which indicated he continued to know the wrongfulness of his actions. And as you saw in the body-worn camera, those kind of comments would be, tell them I did it, take me to jail. Hey, officers, I'm not mad, I'm not on any drugs, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm not going to run, the dog won't bite you. All of those comments do show that he had an awareness, that he knew what was right and wrong at the time, and that he could conform his behavior to that. What's important to note is that neither Dr. Stenson nor Dr. Davis were able to diagnose the defendant during their NGRI evaluation with any specific mental health disease. During all of the evaluations, the doctors all agreed that while the defendant was incarcerated, he exhibited no acute mental health symptoms and received no mental health treatment or medication. And again, as we noted, the various statements that were made by the defendant both on scene, in his interview, and after the fact are not consistent with someone in the throes of a delusion. Yeah, go ahead. You're fine. Sorry, you're fine. Thank you. However, after rendering his opinion as to not guilty by reason of insanity, Dr. Stenson did submit an opinion as to whether or not the defendant suffered from a serious mental illness at the time he committed these offenses. What Dr. Stinson opined essentially was that the defendant was bipolar and that he was unable to appreciate, again, the wrongfulness of his actions or conform his behavior to law. However, as we reviewed Dr. Stinson's report, there was no explanation of how he came to that conclusion of the diagnosis of bipolar, especially since he provided, between the time of his NDRI opinion and his SMI opinion, there was no further testing of the defendant, there were no further interviews of the defendant, there was nothing done other than speaking with the defendant's parents and brother one more time for approximately a total of a half an hour. Additionally, there was nothing in his report that would indicate that his diagnosis of bipolar disorder conformed with the diagnostic criteria as required in the DSM-5, which is kind of the holy grail of psychiatry and psychology. Based on Dr. Stinson's report, the court appointed Dr. Carla Dreyer to conduct a second SMI evaluation of the defendant, and she had a completely different opinion from Dr. Stinson. In her opinion, she noted that it was her belief the defendant did not suffer from a serious mental illness at the time of the offense, which significantly impaired his capacity to exercise rational judgment in relation to his conduct, with respect to either conforming his conduct to the requirements of law or appreciating the nature, consequences, or wrongfulness of his conduct. She went on to note that with regard to the statutory criteria, records suggest that the defendant has a history of controlling behaviors as well as poor frustration tolerance and chronic anger likely related to his underlying personality structure. The available information indicates that the defendant took multiple steps to kill his children, shooting his wife and threatening his stepdaughter in the process. Dr. Dreyer's opinion continued, stating he made statements to indicate that he knew he was killing them. Mr. Doerman's careful execution of the murders, coupled with statements he made to law enforcement after they arrived on scene, indicated that he appreciated the nature of what he did, as well as the wrongfulness and consequences of such. You have all now heard the 911 calls, and you have seen the body-worn camera, and you have seen at least portions, if not all, of the defendant's interview. During the 911 calls, during the body-worn cameras, he is not making the same claims that he only begins to make during his interview when questioned by detectives. You never hear him say, "We're in hell. I have to get to heaven. I have to get you to heaven. I see flames. The devil made me do it." He made no statements that would indicate in any way, shape, or form during his slaughter of his children that would show or indicate that he truly was in the throes of a delusion. This was something that we believe he concocted during the course of his interview. Again, the defendant made a variety of statements to law enforcement which would indicate that he knew what he was doing at the time and that were not consistent with someone who was in the throes of delusions. If you're in the throes of a delusion and you think, hey, I have to save my boys, I'm doing a good thing by sending them to heaven and helping them escape from hell, you would say that. But instead, during the course of the interview, multiple times, the defendant denies being the shooter. Those kind of statements were made multiple times during the course of the interview, whether he specifically denied it or started to claim that he didn't remember.
He
Or
denies
maybe he wasn't there. Maybe he was at work or something along those lines. But again, why would you deny doing an act unless you knew it was wrong? At times, again, the defendant claimed not to remember anything about what had happened that day. But then there were other times, specifically to his family, his mother, his father, his brother, where he would make specific statements, "Oh no, I remember everything, including why I did that." So there in the interview, he's saying, "What happened? I don't know what happened. You tell me, detective. You tell me what happened because I don't know." That's very different than what he says to his mother in a recorded jail call. 10 days later.
You took away everything. And you don't remember it. And you know, although what they tell you, but she remembers. I remember everything. You do? I'm not talking about that.
way to the point, and all the way to all the reasons why.
So I know that was hard to hear, but in the interview on June 15th, the date he committed these atrocious acts, the defendant's acting like he has no idea what's going on. Just 10 days later, he's talking to his mom, who is, now mind you, they've all met with their attorneys, they've started the discussions of the NGRI defense, they've started discussions about mental health and how that can help him. So to his mom, who's saying, no, you don't remember, he's saying, yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I remember everything, including why I did it. And again, we have reviewed numerous jail calls that the defendant made while incarcerated, and there were multiple times where he made statements that were inconsistent with the statements he made to doctors or on his own behalf in an attempt to mitigate his actions on June 15th. Some of those are, again, calls with his parents and brother.
Oh, the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist we can talk to. And I'll talk to the captain came to see me and talk to the psychiatrist. Because I already talked to her, she moved me down to level 1. I was supposed to be playing. She said she's not affected, so moved me down to level 1 for all the cops I was supposed to have prison. Well, guess what? I can get exposed. And the day that it's a good time to talk to the psychiatrist. No, what was that going to do? You sit in this grass tomorrow. They ain't doing me no good. Why am I going to go home? She looked at me and she goes, you go back to what we did. No.
So, So again, I know that was a little difficult to hear, but in that call, he's talking about 2 days after these events, he's talking about meeting with a psychiatrist, and he's talking about not wanting to meet with her because it's not going to get him anything. So he already knows that he can benefit, depending on what he says, to doctors. And you heard in that the doctor at the time is trying to determine whether or not he's a threat to himself, whether or not he needs to be at a specific level of supervision at the jail. And one of the things she asked him is, do you feel bad for what you've done? And his response is no. And the next call, please.
Hey, they thought Heather was big dude. But yeah, come back to him.
So again, in case anyone had any question about whether he knows what he's done is wrong, in this jail call with his brother, again, 2 days after he has just slaughtered his children, he is comparing himself to Hitler and how Hitler made news across the world, and so has he. 12 days after these incidents. So within 2 weeks, he's comparing himself to Hitler and saying, he's as big as Hitler. He is internationally known. Look at me.
Thank you, Laura. All right, so we come to the plea. As you know, in the brief remarks I made Friday, the defense came to us on Tuesday morning, offered us life without parole. We brought in Laura Doerman and talked her through this. Wanted to find out what she wanted to do. And again, as I said Friday, this decision was made to prevent further harm to the family.
What the hell? Well, I guess we got through most of it. They shut us down. Isn't that weird? They put it on private. Why would they put it on private? So we still have nothing from Sarah over here on Court TV. Let's rewind and see if we missed anything, but I don't think we have. Yeah, nothing on Sarah. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on. Let me check YouTube. Because they were saying at freaking noon, they were getting the video. They said that it was going to be recorded. We might have to just wait. But they said it was being recorded and they were waiting for the video. Yeah, it doesn't look like they've gotten it yet. But this is what they put out earlier. And this is from Court TV.
The Suitcase Murder Trial is our top story this morning. A Florida judge is going to call in the pro se defendant, Sarah Boone, to address motions that she filed asking for help with her case from standby counsel and asking for help funding her defense. So before we talk more about that, let's get you caught up on the background of.
Okay, so that's the deal. She wants to fundraise for her defense. She wants to hire a lawyer. I mean, her hearing could be like going longer than they expected. So maybe that's why it's taking so long. But that's what she wanted. She wanted more funding. She wants to be able to fundraise for a lawyer, and she wants thank you, Kels. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's like taking longer, but they're talking about this guy who shot his dad. I don't know what that it's all about.
Of the case, here's Court TV lead anchor Vinnie Politan.
Okay, so we know the background of the case. I don't think there's really anything new in here. Other than that's what she's asking for, and we're waiting for the video. No, it was today, Siobhan, the 5th.
Requires the expert to review all of the evidence, and all of that is.
So I don't know. Has Sarah had her hearing? Yeah, I think we're just waiting for the upload is what it is. I thought they were always live in her hearings, but let's do this. Let's go to the Orange County and search her up and see if anything is filed. I think there actually might be a couple of things she filed and sent to the judge. Okay, here, look at 8-5. So this is what happened. They just haven't gotten the video yet. 8-5, per the court advised investigator Billy Lane, representative from Prison Break Investigations, to release the thumb drive to Sergeant Donald Casey, representative from the Orange County Jail, in open court. Investigator Billy Lane also released the 2 boxes of discovery back to the clerk in open court. Defendant requested that the 2 boxes of discovery be released back to investigator Billy Lane. The court granted. The clerk released the 2 boxes of discovery back to Billy Lane in open court. Trial remains as previously set. Court minutes. Status held. The court addressed several of the defendant's motions and set deadlines as it relates to exhibits and witness lists. The court will prepare specific order with all deadline dates as what was stated on the record, including the costs for JACs. The court provided the defendant in open court a copy of the email dated 7/24/24 from Gina Giovanni, Captain Security Operations, and a copy of today's order setting hearing. Court witnesses sworn and testified were Christian Lake with JACS investigator Billy Lane, representative from Prison Break Investigations Sergeant Donald Casey, and a representative from the Orange County Jail. And then everything is still on schedule. We have another hearing on the 9th, a motion hearing, and then a status hearing on the 14th, and then a trial management conference on September 26th. And then the trial is set to begin on October the 7th. But there were, let's see, a couple things here that she sent over. Oh, that's not it. Oh, this one's locked. 7/31/24. This one's locked. These are her motions that she filed. I'm not going to read these, but she hand writes all of these. Look at this. Investigator to be determined. Here's her motion for money. Let's look at these. And reading the minutes is great, but seeing Sarah in action pro se is going to be something that is for the record books. Still nothing. Okay, temporary motion for a reservation of proposed costs to acquire investigator for defendant's defense and trial. Comes now, Sarah Boone, pro se indigent defendant, respectfully requests from this court the reservation of proposed costs to acquire investigator for defendant's defense and trial. Investigator to be determined. Total amount requesting to be determined. How to calculate unknown by defendant. Reason, no discovery or case materials provided to defendant from the judge. The defendant is trying to avoid any further persecution and penalization from the judge in court, while vigorously attempting to succeed in her forced position of pro se attorney. The exceeded time limit of waiting to receive the defendant's discovery and case materials promised by the court has forced the submittal of this temporary motion. Once the defendant has finally received, she will be able to proceed, will advise and resubmit this motion upon completion of her review and research of the contents. So then she signs it. So that's one of them that the judge, and then here's the other one. This one's 29 pages. Motion requesting immediate relief to the defendant by appointing effective standby counsel to aid and support in preparation of her criminal case for trial. Comes now Sarah Boone, pro se indigent defendant, respectfully requests from the court immediate relief by providing effective standby counsel with all legal services allowed and included to assist and aid the defendant as a whole in the complex, vital procedural preparation with professional guidance. She's doing pretty good, actually, during her forfeited right to counsel by the court as pro se attorney and in her proposed lawful representation of self in her criminal case. Defendant's justifiable reasons for requested relief and assistance are as followed. She says that the defendant's sixth constitutional right to counsel is being violated. The defendant is not an officer of this court or any court. The defendant is defective and ineffective counsel to self as a result, which therefore will detrimentally impact and impede favorable justice. The defendant is presently incarcerated, which is causing and will cause unfair burdens, limitations, deprivations, inaccessibilities, and unequal opportunities in and to her ability to complete tasks and timely responsibilities suitable to the vile defense of the defendant's life and livelihood. Examples of said unfair burdens are as follows. A, the defendant has not received from the court to date of this motion any of her promised discovery or case-related material. With only 4 days to submit my demands and motions delegated by the court before 7/22. B, the defendant has not reviewed from the court to date of this motion any of her promised discovery or case materials submitted to former attorney. C, the defendant does not have access to a computer. D, the defendant does not have access to the internet. E, the defendant has extremely limited, irregular access to basic tablets supplied by the Orange County Jail. F, defendant has access to payphones for collect calls only. G, defendant does not have access to organizational supplies or production equipment. copier, printer, etc. H, defendant does not have access to a meeting place for privacy. I, additional daily obstructions and undetermined hardships, disadvantages, difficulties will likely come about due to being incarcerated once my case materials are finally received. Continued application and reasoning and further lawful support of defendant's request for immediate relief with standby counsel to aid and assist in preparation of her criminal case. So then she goes on to list case law, etc. I mean, she's really doing her homework. I don't know if I could do all this. I don't think I could. I really don't think I could. Do you guys think you could do this? I mean, this is going to be very interesting to watch for sure. See, they're not even talking about it. But we know what happened. Maybe it was just really short. I don't know. I can't imagine anything with Sarah Boone being short. I mean, can you imagine writing all of these pages? It's crazy. Her handwriting's getting sloppier. Yeah, I mean, look how much she's writing. So will she be able to access a printer? I mean, how would you be able to defend yourself being in jail with just paper and pen? It's kind of nuts. You think I could? I think I could if it was for my life. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's really all she has to focus on. Maybe she's using someone in jail to help her. I don't know. She's doing pretty good. I mean, I must say. Not that I think she's, innocent or anything, but this is going to be really interesting. Right. As I'm saying, like, what else does she have to do? Motion seeking due process costs. I wonder what the judge said about her fundraising, though. Or did he even address that? Oh, wait, here's an order. Let's see what this says. Okay, this was filed today at noon. Order authorizing the defense to incur costs for a private investigator. Okay, so they're giving her some money. This cause having come before the court on August 5th, upon the temporary motion for reservation of proposed costs to acquire investigator for defendant's defense. The court finds that the defense has shown that the assistance of a private investigator is necessary for the defense of the case. Oh, so she's got to this is about prison break investigations. She has to use them. The defense is authorized to retain Billy Joe Lane of Prison Break Investigations as the private investigator. The defense is authorized to incur up to $10,000 for private investigator services at a rate of $50 an hour. The defense is also authorized to incur up to $1,000 for associated investigative costs, including in-travel expenses and costs to obtain case-related documents and materials. Any private investigator providing services in this matter must be properly licensed in Florida law. Any private investigator shall only be compensated for providing investigative services, including, but not limited to, interviewing and locating witnesses, locating documents, performing background checks, and researching factual issues. An investigator is not a substitute for a paralegal or secretary and cannot be compensated for performing administrative, secretarial, or paralegal tasks. Should any private investigator desire direct payment from the Justice Administrative Commission, the private investigator must enter into a contract. The defense and private investigator must comply with all policies and procedures. And the defendant is liable to pay the amount of any due process costs provided to the defense as directed by sections 27.52 and 938.29 Florida statutes. If the defendant is convicted, the court is responsible for determining the amount of the obligation to be imposed as a lien against the defendant. And that was signed by the Honorable Michael Kranick today. Let's see what else we've got here. Looks like nothing. That's it. And still no video. Still no video. So, I don't know, guys. I guess we've waited hours, you know. They're not even talking about it. See, this is the files, the handwritten motion video. But, nothing in here about any fundraising. You're saying it would be a hard no. Nothing about fundraising or anything about a secondary lawyer, like a backup attorney. Oh, Sarah. I know. She doesn't play well with others. Sherry, I know. She says it's going to be a really interesting trial. I can't wait. And they say it's still going to start on October the 7th of this year, and we will definitely follow it. But I guess that's going to be our Sarah Boone update, guys. I don't know. Let's see what they say when they come back from commercial. And sorry about this morning. I had no internet. It's been a little crazy. So the schedule has been moved around this week, so bear with me. But we read the court minutes. It doesn't sound like a whole lot went down, but I still want to see her. She's like entertainment. I hate to say that, but they have to give her someone to help her out, I would think. But is she going to be able to get along with them, Cheryl? I mean, she's been through 8 lawyers. Is she going to be able to get along with a second lawyer? Or, a secondary lawyer? I just don't know. I know I really wanted to see her in action, though. But we can always go live when it comes out. Yay, Sherry. I know. It's pretty bad when it's entertainment, but it definitely is. Lovey, I hope you're having a good day. I hope everybody's having a good day. Pimp Shoes, is good to see you. Haven't seen y'all in a while. I'm just waiting for the rain to finally stop so I can go outside and finally clean up. It's a mess. My bonfire pit was in the road. George is really tiny. Yeah, he was. Now I can see why he fit in the suitcase. Exactly, Sherry. I mean, she's going to have to suck it up at some point. But if you are just joining, we did go over some new body cam that I found. And it's of her calling the cops on George and him getting arrested. Hey, Teresa, we never did get the video, but we went over the court minutes if you want to rewind. I seriously doubt it. You don't remember the guy that ran down all those people? He defended himself and fought with his second chair. I don't remember him. I don't remember the second chair. Yeah, Daryl Brooks. We all remember Daryl Brooks.
Did I ask them to do that?
Exactly, Robert. See, now they're talking about the Reed trial. So, let's see what this says. my God.
I am thoroughly confused. Was a notice ever put online for this or mailed to anyone? I don't even know why Mr. Lane is here. I don't know why I'm here.
Well, ma'am, you are now representing yourself, and previously you had requested to appear at every hearing that was held.
Oh.
As you are now representing yourself, the court cannot.
You know what I bet happened, guys? This is old. This is the last hearing. Her poster. You know what probably happened, guys? It's probably the weather. I bet you that's why Fox wasn't there. Why Fox Orlando wasn't there filming. Because I just went to Fox Orlando and I'm like, oh, no wonder. Everything's the storm right now. And DeSantis and everything else. Because Fox 35 Orlando is the channel that always carries it. I bet you it's because of the storm. You rescued a blue jay today? Oh. Cicada, that's so sweet. She said, I rescued a blue jay today. Game commissioner came over and caught it with a net. Its beak was badly broken. I feel really good that it's at least getting helped. That is so nice of you. I know Sarah. Grounds. I don't know what kind of lingo is she going to learn? The Sarah. But I bet you that's what happened. It's the storm that has them not, in the courtroom today. Oh, Army Mom, that Doerman thing was awful. I had no idea it was going to be that graphic. Sarah got put on the back burner today. Oh, you took a video. Yeah, let us know. Yep, I think that's what it is because I'm on their website right now and they have just live all day coverage of the storm. Teresa. Sherry says, I don't think this judge is going to be as nice and helpful as Brooks' judge was. She was very patient with him. She was very patient. But yeah, well, at least we got to, hear the Chad Doerman timeline, that bullshit, hear that story. Which I don't believe he's mentally ill. And we got to find out what happened with Sarah. We'll just wait for that video to come through, if it ever does. But yeah, y'all, I guess we're going to wrap it up from here. Thank you for tuning in today. Sorry about the schedule change. We will get on track. I plan on being live tomorrow morning still at 10 a.m. And it was really nice to see all of you guys. Stay safe out there. Stay dry. I know that the storm is going to make its way up the states. Oh, Cicada, that's so sad. It was panting like a dog. Oh, it was all stressed out. Bless you, Cicada. That's so sweet. All right, let's end on that note. That's a great story. Thank you guys again. I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you're subscribed so that you get notifications of all my drops. I drop videos. Hey, Tracy V. Good to see you. Yep, we go with the flow. If we get that video, we'll go live later and we'll do a watch and react. So everybody stay safe. I'll see you guys soon. Myron, let's run our credits. Everybody have a beautiful day. And thank you again. So much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further? Bring it all in. And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Exhibit E. EXHIBITY.
You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact. And I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone,
Jennifer or two Jennifer?
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Jennifer loves horses. Hi, Jennifer.